You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here today virtually with Mackenzie Zielke. She is a director. And Hannah Post, she is an actor.
Yay.
And they are in the show Girl on the Train. That's going to be at BLT Theater coming up starting January 31st. Thank you, ladies, for joining us early this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Well, you guys have been busy, and this is kind of a fun show. It's kind of a suspenseful show. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what the show is about?
So it is a thriller. It's based on the novel by Paula Hawkins. So it is about a woman who watches the backs of other people's houses on her way to work, and she sees something in the back of one of those houses one day. And then the next day, that person is missing. And so she gets herself involved in this mystery of this missing woman. But there's a catch. She is a heavy drinker, and she has black holes in her memory. So she actually can't remember what it is that she saw. So the whole play is her putting together the pieces of her fragmented memory to try to solve the mystery of this missing woman.
Okay, interesting. It's kind of a Rear Window type of vibe. Now, as I'm looking at the cast list, you have this is a pretty small cast.
Yeah.
A small cast show. I like small cast shows. I'm a big fan. As a director, do you because you've done a fair amount of directing at this point. You like smaller casts, larger casts? What do you like?
You know, I like when the cast is the right size. I'll just say that.
Fair enough.
Working with this small cast of incredibly talented actors has been amazing. I have been so impressed with all of them. I like the amount of, intimate connections we all get to make when it's a smaller cast.
Yeah.
Hannah's sitting next to me and she's nodding.
Yes.
But I think you just get so much more opportunity to really work with actors, one-on-one and in more of a close space as opposed to, normally I do big musicals and there's just not always a lot of time to do a lot of really great scene work because everything has to be great in a musical, the dancing and the singing and acting and all of that. But in a play with a small cast, you really get to dive into these characters and explore them more intimately, which I love.
Yeah. Now, Hannah, of course, Hannah and Mackenzie and I have all worked together before. But now, is this the first time? And I can't remember. Is this the first time that you worked with Mackenzie with the director?
This is my third time working with her as a director. Okay. I did Into the Woods with her and then also White Christmas.
Okay,
but it's my first time in a straight play setting.
That's true.
Which has been it's been fun, getting to see more of the actor director Mackenzie and less of the musical director Mackenzie.
Now, who is your character in this?
I am playing Megan Hipwell, so I am the girl who goes missing, which has been kind of fun because my entire character is told in these flashbacks and the different versions of how people see me and getting to kind of distinguish how Rachel sees me versus another person.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So as people are remembering things that happened and all that, she gets inserted into sort of their memories and behaves how they perceived her behaving. Very interesting.
Yeah, and so while Rachel is finding out what happens to me, it's almost as if the audience is actually getting to know the real Megan, not just figments of people's memories.
Cool. Now, who else do we have in the show? I saw that Dennis is in the show. I've worked with Mr. Dennis before, although it's been a while.
He's a treat. He plays Megan's husband, Scott. And he's lovely. They have some really beautiful moments on stage together. Some of the most intense moments actually are between Megan and Scott, but it's great. It's beautiful work.
Very lucky it's Dennis.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Dennis.
Wonderful. So, cast of 9.
So it's a cast of 7 sort of main characters, and then we have these really fabulous, multi-talented ensemble characters who kind of move through the scenes and help us change places, and they play police officers and forensics officers and secretaries and voicemails. And so it's been really fun to create each of those characters on top of all the other characters.
That's cool.
And this is relatively a new play?
Yeah, I think it's one of the first times it's actually been done. I think it's the first time it's been done locally. Mm-hmm. Still enjoying a pretty good run in London. It's very popular there. So, so we're super lucky to be able to be the first people in the area to do this script.
Was this a play that you suggested to them that you would like to do, or was this on their docket and you said, ooh, let me do that one, please?
Yeah, that part. Yeah. I'm a thriller kind of like true crime junkie. So
excellent.
When I saw this script, I just felt like it was absolutely the combining of all the things that I love, mystery and, suspense and theater, and a incredible female-led cast, and it just really spoke to me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of thrillers and kind of suspenseful, scary stuff in the theater. I think it's so cool. I mean, fine, TV movies, fine, but it seems like in the theater, it's so much. There's so much more that if you get it right. Ooh, boy, is it good. Yeah.
Well, Megan, I just called you Megan. I've been calling her Megan. Hannah can really speak to that because she's involved in quite a few of the more violent moments on stage. And I guess I'm going to ask you, how has that been for you?
Yeah, because I know you've done a lot of musicals and stuff. Is this kind of your first kind of thriller type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done straight plays before, especially during like summer stock. I did a lot of straight plays, but this is my first actual like serious thriller, which has been very different. I'm really lucky that the people I'm opposite of in some of those more intense scenes, specifically Dennis and Devin, are just two of the sweetest humans. So it makes it very easy to, do some of the more intense situations or be a little bit more vulnerable. My character has a lot of vulnerable moments, and just being able to play opposite them in such a safe atmosphere has been really, really amazing. Very much different and very rewarding in the sense of like, I feel like I'm more of an actor now, which is extremely fun to actually say, I'm not just a musical girl, which is kind of fun and different.
Yeah.
No, it is an important leap. And sometimes people can get stereotyped into a certain musical.
Yeah, it's like, she just
it's harder
musicals.
To get cast in plays.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a leap. So congratulations.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're really good. Especially if you're really good at doing musicals, then everybody's like, oh, well, we're just going to keep her, we got to have her in the musical instead of Overcast has her in that. Yeah. Especially if you're really good at it. Yeah. it's a
Mackenzie's giving me that look of.
And she is.
Yeah. She's been telling me this entire process.
Yep. I tell you, doing a straight play, especially something like this, I've found it's really satisfying, especially when you're doing something scary or whatever, or something super serious, because it is so much different than sort of the fun, lighthearted musical stuff that you're getting it right when, and you can literally hear it. It almost the silence in the theater almost becomes deafening to the point where you can hear a literal pin drop, and you notice it, and it's like, ooh, we just did something right. when it goes dead quiet, that everyone is fully engaged on what you are doing, and I have a feeling your character might be having some of those moments where you're going to cause that audience just to go dead silence.
Even with just our designers and directors in the audience, there are definitely moments that you can just tell it's going to be one of those moments. Yes. And so I'm excited for people to see the show and for those moments
to
happen to them.
So satisfying.
The fact that we've seen it, I've seen it a ton of times at this point, and the fact that I still like put my hand over my mouth sometimes, or like I feel like I can't breathe because I'm just so in it with them. It's like, obviously maybe I'm biased because I love all of them and I think they're doing a great job, but I really am so excited for people to see their incredible work.
Yeah, no, it speaks a lot to to the kind of cast that you have and the direction that you're doing that you who've read it a million times, seen it a million times in rehearsal, are still engaged, and it's still getting you every time. That oh yes.
And we should say that not only was this a book, it was a movie that came out in 2016.
Yes.
And it starred Emily Blunt, and then Haley Bennett was Hannah's role, and then her husband was Luke Evans. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
That's right.
I never saw it.
Yeah, Justin Theroux is in it as well.
Oh, Justin Theroux, yeah.
So, do you know how similar it is to the movie? Are there a lot of differences?
Yeah, for people who have seen the movie, is this like wildly different or?
It's different. I think just the medium that theater is and what it's capable of is just very different from what a movie is able to do. There is a lot of like flashbacks and retelling of things that are just told a different way on stage than they can be through the medium of film. Sure. There are some details that have been left out just because for the sake of this story, they just weren't needed. And so there might be people wondering, oh, well, what about this, plot line or subplot or and some of those things just aren't there, but we're really, really following the character of Rachel as she discovers what has happened. So if anything sort of doesn't follow that, it was just sort of removed for the sake of that through line.
Sure, really kind of streamline the story. Yeah. For the play version. Who's your Rachel?
Her name, that's Bronwyn.
Is that Bronwyn? Bronwyn's Rachel?
She's amazing. Yeah, she's killing it. I'm impressed we did our first read through and she was like memorized the first 5 scenes. Yeah. And she truly like does not leave the stage, and she honestly has the entire show on her shoulders, and she has done nothing but be like amazing. She's a rock star.
It's one of those roles where you don't get to leave the stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I think she timed it. She gets to leave the stage for all like combined like 20 seconds the whole show.
That's great.
Yes.
Oh, sounds like so much fun.
Oh, I love thrillers so much in the theater.
And you've got an ASL interpretation on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring your loved one to come see a show about
I'm in the middle of rehearsal for a show right now we're doing Misery over at Snap, and that's their Valentine's Day. Very much on purpose, but it cracks me up. Thrillers on Valentine's Day. Awesome.
Yeah. Bellevue's kind of following suit. Well,
I love it.
They open January 31st, but they run till the 16th.
Till the 16th of February. Yeah. Yes. So a good long run.
Yeah. Several weekends, 3 weekends. Yeah.
Yep. 9 performances, matinees on Sundays, and it's a nice tight show. So it moves very quickly.
Moves right along.
That's great.
Yeah.
We're excited for you.
Yes, I'm a fan. I like a 3-weekend run much better than just a couple weekends. Like 9 or more performances. Gosh, we're gonna do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
And of course, you are back at Bellevue Little Theatre again, directing. How do you? Of course, I'm not fishing for you to talk smack about anybody, but how have you enjoyed your time directing at Bellevue? Because now you've done more than a few things out there.
Yeah, so this is my second time directing, and I also did a show last year there. So I've been out at Bellevue quite a bit. I love it. They treat me so good at Bellevue. I just feel super supported. I feel like I can say, hey, I need this, or I'd really like this, and no one ever looks at me strange. Everyone's, especially Joey, the board president, who's also doing lights and set for us. I was like, here's what I want, and he was like, no problem. So I'm getting like everything that I want for this show, and they're just so supportive. I can't say enough nice things actually for working for Bellevue. I love it. I would be there all the time. I think they're such a great organization. They love to tell good stories. They have a great audience base, and
that's cool.
Yeah, nothing but nice things to say.
We hear that. We've talked to quite a few people out at Bellevue, and honestly, we get the same thing from all of them. They all just sort of rave about how nice and how easy everyone is to work with, and the audiences are they're such nice audiences they have out there. It's really nice to hear.
Yeah.
I can't speak enough good things about my cast and my crew and
who you got for your crew? Stage manager, I saw Joe's doing your sound design.
Joe's doing our sound, and he's got his work cut out for him because there are so many. This is the most tech intense show I think I've ever done.
Oh, really?
Lights and sound.
And it's the turntable.
Oh, we're using the turntable, so it's like
stage, yeah.
it's really intense tech show. So we're actually recording this on Tech Sunday, and
okay.
we're only a little bit nervous, but it's going to be fine. But when there's just a lot of tech.
When there's a lot of tech, I know so many things can go wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Joey is doing our lights. He did our set. Riley Pope is doing our props.
Awesome.
Did a fabulous job with that. Leah did our costumes. And Steven, who I always say, Steven Knox is my stage manager, and he is absolutely fabulous. And then I brought on an AD, Ryan Fuller, to help with this undertaking of this incredible script. So yeah, I love the crew, the cast, everybody is so fabulous. Don't miss this one. I know I'm plugging this show, but don't miss this one. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I think there's also something to be said. She hasn't talked about this, but just with the amount of intimate moments, both what you would see with intimacy and violence moments, there's Mackenzie did all of that herself, and she learned a lot to be able to do it in a safe manner for all of us. And it's actually very impressive when you look at it, because it doesn't look staged, but we all know it is. So I just also want to plug that, because I'm impressed. You were very nervous about it, and you had all the materials, and
I always want everyone to feel safe. Me doing it as an actor is so much different than staging it as a director, and so
and
it is such a safe environment backstage. I will have this very intense scene, and then specifically a scene with Dennis, and he's looking off stage, and I run off stage, and then I look, and I'm like, okay, bye, love you. And it's just that's the kind of environment that's been created. And so it's a very unique experience to be able to have such a intense, intimate show and be able to be laughing backstage with everyone as soon as you walk off stage.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
right.
Which is a testament to Mackenzie and the environment she's created.
For sure. Not surprising to me. Not surprising to me. When Mackenzie and I worked together, we had to have some intimate moments between us, and we were basically sort of left to work them out between each other. And it was super easy, and I thought she made me very comfortable, because I think I was more nervous than she was. And we got very comfortable with each other in a sort of really nice working relationship way, and I think it really showed in the final product. I think the audience really picked up on it, and for me, that's always a big pet peeve of mine when I'm watching a show. If they're trying to show a relationship, because everybody in the audience knows what that looks like. We've all been in a relationship, and when it's not, you can tell when the actors aren't there, and that they haven't either worked with each other enough, or the director hasn't worked with them enough to put these scenes together. It's oh man, and it tears me right out of it. It's okay, well, we're acting that we like each other now. Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's always a big pet peeve of mine.
Absolutely. You can tell when moments just don't feel natural, and I think that was something that was really important to us, even in the more violent moments. That it felt real.
Yes.
While also being incredibly safe.
Yes.
For all of the actors. So finding that balance.
And you can do both. You can do both.
Absolutely.
I think they're equally as important. Yeah, because even the violent stuff, maybe even easier to look fake.
Absolutely.
And it's okay, well, we're supposed to believe this, and then, but when it's not, when it's well done, it's shocking in a really great way.
That's the hope.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, congratulations. Have a great Tech Sunday.
Yes.
I'm sure everything will go well.
Yes, break all the legs on Tech Sunday.
Yeah, and you'll be ready for
thank
Friday's
you.
opening.
Yes, indeed. Not far now.
Yes.
Yeah, God, yeah, we're on Sunday, so less than a week.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I need to, yeah.
You guys are down to it. All right.
Well, take care and have fun.
Yes.
That's the most important
you.
part.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good to see you again, Mackenzie. Good to see you again, Hannah.
Yes.
Break all the legs down at Bellevue Little Theatre and A Girl on the Train. It starts January 31st. For tickets to Bellevue Little Theatre's production of The Girl on the Train, which opens January 31st, go to theblt.org.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.